morning, everybody. And yes, indeed, let's make some bread today. It is Pick and Roll. I am your host, Jacob Gramegna. You can find me on Twitter at Jacob Gramegna or on my YouTube channel, Amateur Sports. This is PipsNBA at PipsNBA on Twitter. And on this show, we go through some basketball discussion with the hottest topics. And then we get in, of course, to our best bets coming from Pips. And we have a couple of them for you guys today. But first, one thing in particular that we wanted to discuss was, of course, the big news from yesterday. The Brooklyn Nets have fired Steve Nash. We want to get the thoughts here. But before that, just want to let you guys know you can catch this stream every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 11:15 a.m. Eastern time on YouTube, Twitch, at the Board NBA on Twitter, or also at the Hammer HQ on Twitter. And if you can't catch it live, you can catch it on all those platforms after the fact or on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you for 200 subscribers on YouTube. But Steve Nash fired. Pips, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that was a surprise coming after a win. That's not the thing that usually happens in the NBA, but we all were waiting for this to happen since the summer, and there are so many things. He's just not the greatest one to fit there. But who is? I mean, this is a very toxic environment, and I don't know who will take over, but I won't be easy for him.
Yeah, Brooklyn. I don't think Steve Nash, and I tweeted this, I don't think Steve Nash was ready to be a head coach, but I also don't think it was a very fair assessment of his abilities because who could have succeeded here? You had this situation with Kevin Durant in the offseason, but leading into that, all the turmoil around just the franchise in general, everything going on with Kyrie Irving. Is he playing? Is he not playing? When he is playing, does he care about playing? And we'll talk about the game yesterday where it very much looked like he did not care about playing. It is just an absolute mess of an organization. It's incredible how they have spiraled out of control here. Granted, we're very early into the season here, but this is a team that is paying enough to be a contender. They're 2-6. Steve Nash got fired off that win against Indiana, which we spoke about yesterday, where Indiana's bench made a huge comeback and nearly snatched that game away from Brooklyn. But 2-6 to start the season, it has been awful. And their defense is the worst in the league. Their bench is the worst in the league. So beyond just a coach, how do you think this team can improve if it's possible?
They just need to start playing hard, playing defense. I don't know. I mean, they have some capable defenders. Claxton is a decent defender. Ben Simmons is a great defender. Harris will come along. He's just coming back from the injury, and I don't know. They have Durant and Irving scoring 30-plus points every game, so they are doing their part, but they still end up losing to not great teams like Pacers and Bulls, and just not looking great for them and not promising for the future either.
Yeah, and I don't know how they're going to recover from this. I mean, they tanked their franchise a decade ago with that Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce trade. It looks like they may have done it again. I mean, we'll wait and see. This is obviously a talented team. Turn around. They need to add in defenders. They need to add in definitely some defenders to this team. And just needs a big culture change. Kevin Durant, he's putting up 30 a game, but other than that, he's kind of just running around. He's scoring a lot, but he's not really doing much else. Ben Simmons, there's definitely some confidence issues, and maybe the more he plays, the better he'll be. But it's very clear here that something's wrong there, and he's just not the player that he was. But full year off, I don't know. Maybe he turns it around. But I think the biggest thing here is the culture. The players are not helping with that culture in any way whatsoever. And that leads us into the recap yesterday. And we'll stick with the Brooklyn Nets here because the Brooklyn Nets, we took, by the way, yesterday, Zach Lavine over 22.5 points as one of the two official plays. Zach Lavine going into the fourth quarter, had 9 points. And as Pips texted to me, he said he's just running around there. He's just doing some soft cardio. But fourth quarter, Zach Lavine decides, hey, I'm healthy. Starts trying, puts up 20 points in the fourth quarter. Brooklyn, entire team, puts up 19 points in the fourth quarter. So Zach Lavine goes over. Brooklyn are outscored by one player. Kyrie Irving in the whole game scores, I believe it was 5 points, had
Four
zero
points.
through the first three quarter. Oh man, just you want to talk about that game and Zach Lavine?
Yeah, you just said it. He wasn't even trying. He was like giving reps to Patrick Williams and Idol Sunmu, and he was like setting up the game for them. He had like 4 assists in the first quarter, and he saw the Rosen struggling making shots, and just decided, okay, this is now my game. Took the ball and scored 20 points, and that looks so easy and effortless for him. And like he's just amazing scoring talent, but he needs to get healthy and to his best. And I think we could see a great season from Lavine.
Yeah, Lavine when the big thing when he's healthy. And the
Yeah,
handicap was before the game that nobody on Brooklyn can stop him. Made that pretty clear in the
yeah,
fourth quarter. So we'll take that way. But unfortunately, it is a very small losing day because the picks go 1-1. The other side, we had the same game parlay with Rudy Gobert over 11.5 rebounds, Devin Booker over 24.5 points. Neither of those unfortunately hit. Rudy
yeah,
Gobert had 4 rebounds in I think the first 4 minutes of the game, and I was
yeah.
thinking, oh, he's
Eight
gonna
on
yeah, like
eight on.
today. But
Yeah,
Booker struggled for the whole game. What were your thoughts on this one? I know you watched.
yeah. Gobert had 8 rebounds going at the halftime and had only 1 rebound in 60 minutes in the second half. And I can't remember when that happened. I mean, 16 minutes of Gobert on the floor and 1 rebound. That's just insane.
That's unheard of.
And that was one offensive rebound, not so zero defensive rebounds in the entire half. Yeah, that's pretty devastating. And you made a good point last on the podcast last time we spoke about Anthony Edwards. He was really trying his best to stop Devin Booker, and since Wolves are playing Towns at the 4, and Phoenix just went to exploit that, and we have Cameron Johnson scoring a season high 29 points, and Booker just wasn't involved enough, and he still had 18 field goal attempts in 30 minutes because it was a blowout win. He still put the shots, didn't fall for him, but Chris Paul had also season high field goal attempts because they are playing Spain pick and roll with Cameron Johnson trying to
Mhm.
get Towns out of and Towns was struggling, and they just over and over again were repeating it and going to the Cameron Johnson, and that took away a lot of usage from Booker, and that's it.
Yeah, and to their credit, the Phoenix Suns did win, and as you said, it was pretty much a blowout here. They ended up winning by 11 points, I think it was. But yeah, they had a good game. Devin Booker unfortunately did not. But let's hope today our fortunes are better. Let's hope today with the two picks we get a sweep here, and we are going to start this one going to Milwaukee. The Detroit Pistons are in town for the Bucks. The Bucks yesterday we branded as the team to beat in the NBA, and one name in particular that we threw out was Brook Lopez, who's looked good this season. What is the play for this game?
So for this game, we are betting Brook Lopez to score over 13 and a half points. He's that's minus 110 at DraftKings, and just they played 2 days ago, and he scored 24 points, and that was also so effortless and easy. And the main reason for that is Detroit Pistons lack size. This is the graph showing last 11 games for Brook Lopez when he gets 28 or more minutes, and he's projected to play 34 tonight, and he also played 34 minutes in 3 straight games. So you can see like the lowest scoring game was 12 points and 13. This is Boston Celtics who have played way better defense than this Pistons team, and he had 18-point half average. So we could see a strong game from him and huge usage. And the main takeaway of this bet is Pistons are switching on the pick and roll, and he gets Kate Cunningham, Bojan Bogdanovic inside, and they just play pick and roll with Drew Holiday and Brook Lopez, and he gets easy post ups in the lane. And Stewart is switching out on the perimeter, and when he's out, Brook Lopez has an easy opportunities to get offensive rebounds and putbacks. His three is falling, so we should see a great game. And also, they are just focusing on Giannis, and with Chris Middleton out, Sandro out, and a lot of players missing. This is Brook Lopez needs to be the third scoring option, and I think he showed that this season. He is their most important defensive player. They need him on the floor, and Pistons started playing great, so I don't think there is a blowout chance, at least not a high probability one. And Brook Lopez should score over if he gets 30 plus minutes.
Yeah, I like the play here. I mean, I spoke yesterday. I'm a big fan of Brook Lopez's game so far this season. This is a type of game. I know you just mentioned maybe not going to be a blowout with the way the Pistons are playing. The reason the Pistons may not get blown out is because offensively they score a lot. Bogdanovich has looked excellent this season. Just signed an extension as well. Cade Cunningham has looked extremely, extremely good this season. So they're going to put up points. Defense is where they lack, especially in the rim protection game. Brook Lopez at the rim, not really fond of who they're going to throw to match at him. Like you're going to see maybe some Isaiah Stewart down there. They've made some steps in the draft to rectify the rim protection by getting Jalen Duren, who I think is a good potential, but
He's out.
he's out as well, and well, he's more potential anyway. So even better then. Not really many people down low to stop Brook Lopez today. So I like that play, and I like the point you made about the defense. So he's going to be on the floor a lot. And actually, just one other quick thing. Bucks really like to sparingly use Giannis regular season. Like he can average 30 points per game in 30 minutes. Maybe this is a game where they lighten the load on Giannis because, bigger games ahead. We'll see. Anyways, Brook Lopez will get the minutes. So with that, we're going to move into our second play of the day. And we got the high-flying Utah Jazz against the Dallas Mavericks with the MVP favorite, Luka Doncic, and you think Luka is in for a monster game. Let's hear the play.
So we are betting. Yeah, I know this line sounds like inflated a lot, but it's actually not. And Luka Doncic over 33 and a half points. It's minus 113 at FanDuel. So we all know about great James Harden season in 2018 and 19 when he averaged 37 points a game.
Yeah.
And the ridiculous thing about this, Luka Doncic is having higher usage than that Harden season. He has almost 42% usage. That we haven't seen that like since that Harden season, and that's just crazy. And he scored 31 points or more in every game season so far. And the amazing thing about this is the three is not falling, and he's scoring 31 plus points in every game. He scored 31 plus in every game, and he's shooting like 22% from three. We all know that's come along. That's just shooting variance. He's looking great, and there's no reason for him to shoot 22% from the three, especially after we saw improvement last season. So he went over this line in 4 out of the 6 games, and the 2 games where he stayed under the line, it was blowout win versus Memphis. He scored 32 points without any fourth quarter minutes. Mm-hmm. And the second one was 31-point game against Oklahoma City Thunder. And he was going probably against one of the 3 best defensive players he could go against. That's Dort. He is like one of the greatest physical builds player to guard Harden and Doncic. Yeah, and he's great to guard like Cade, Harden, Doncic, like playmakers with size. And Luka Doncic scored 31 points while shooting 34% from the field. And I don't think anyone on this Utah Jazz team can stop him. We saw Morant last night. He scored 37 points in a blowout. He was just getting to the rim whenever he wanted. And that's going through the entire season because Utah Jazz doesn't have any rim protection. They have Kelly Olynyk playing at the 5, and that's Luka just will exploit that. Yeah. And they have one capable defender, so I think they will give him a single cover, and giving Luka a single cover is just also easy.
It's a nightmare.
They will put Vanderbilt on him, and I expect pretty quick foul trouble. And yeah, and so far this season, Utah Jazz just didn't double team or blitz or anything with the star players. They just giving them single cover and let him score, like they gave Jokic single cover with Solinik, which was crazy. And last
Yeah.
night, same thing with Ja Morant. And yeah, if they give Luka single cover, he scored 40 plus points without any problems.
Yeah, Luka Doncic this season. You said he's not shooting well from three. He isn't. He's still shooting 50% from the field because on ridiculous stat. He is shooting
Yeah.
65% on twos. This is a like point guard, primary ball handler. This is not a center. This is not Rudy Gobert. This is Luka Doncic averaging 65% on twos this season. So he's getting to the rim. If he misses, he's getting fouled because he's averaging 11 and a half free throw attempts per game. There is nobody on Utah who can guard this guy. They're a fun team, you know. They're trying hard. They're a fun team. They're winning a lot of games right now. I don't think that will keep up, but they're a fun team for now. I don't expect this Utah team to roll over to a Mavs team either. I expect this game to be somewhat close here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Luka Doncic is getting that usage, and after losing Brunson, we knew he'd get an unholy usage percentage. Yeah, we can see Doncic go for 40 plus tonight if everything lines up for him. So like that pick. We'll recap the plays again for you guys. I forgot to do it yesterday. My apologies. But just to recap, Pistons at Bucks, we got Lopez over 13.5 points, minus 110 at DraftKings. And then the second pick, Luka Doncic over 33.5 points, minus 113 at FanDuel. Those are your two official plays for today. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and like on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch. Follow the Twitter accounts wherever you're watching. And you can consider following me at Jacob Gramegna on Twitter, or check out my YouTube channel, Amateur Sports, for Raptors content. You can also follow Pips on Twitter for more from both of us, and make sure you tune in to Pick and Roll every weekday, 11:15 a.m. Eastern time. And if you can't catch that later, podcast form, Spotify and Apple Podcast pretty shortly after the live finishes. Thank you again, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.